You join us back at Moneypenny's Wrexham headquarters, and today I am joined by Laura, who is part of that outbound call team.
I am.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, Moneypenny has been quite famous for their inbound call team because obviously you need somebody to handle that overflow. And when it comes to outbound calls, agents really, I mean, it sounds like a great service because it was going to help us with our sort of keeping in touch with our customers, but also a little bit of prospecting as well. But there's a nervousness, isn't there? Because we feel that maybe the people calling out on our behalf, they really should be our own staff. They should know what they're doing. How do you fake it till you make it, basically?
Well, I'd say we say fake it, but I think we obtain a lot of knowledge from the company and the agent. So before we actually start making the calls, there's a lot of training and kind of on take of knowledge in that sense. So we would speak to the company and get a feel of who they are, what they do, what approach they want, what the task at hand is, and then we would make the call after all the training. So we kind of tailor it and find out all the info. And I know sometimes it sounds like that would be a challenge because people might be questioning where you're from or who you are. But as long as we have all that knowledge and we do a little bit of research because we're a little bit curious on Team Outbound.
Well, I think Team Outbound need to be as curious as they should be because I
Yeah.
think it's so important that you guys have this essential training because you are representing that agent. You're going to want to know everything about that local area, about that business, particularly for the task at hand. But let's talk about some of those tasks at hand because I know there's different applications to outbound calling. Some of it can be just to keep in touch with clients because as agents, we'd love to call them every now and again just to say, hey, it's us.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of moving again or something similar? But then there's more sort of aggressive campaigns we might launch. We may have been to value a house for somebody and we want to know what the next step is for them. Are they thinking about it seriously? So talk to us a little bit about the various different types of roles that you play.
So it does depend on what is needed, and I think that's the beauty of it. We can change to adapt to whatever the company needs. So we could be doing campaigns, like you said, where we're calling people who we value the house, who the company valued the house for, and following up on appraisals and possibly mortgage advice as well, booking them in. But then we could do surveys for landlords and tenants, getting their idea of what they take on the market and getting that essential feedback that's important for the client. We did loads.
They do everything.
Yeah.
But I'm presuming you'll also be contacting. So for argument's sake, if I've got an open house viewing, I might give you a list of people to call and say, look, I need as many of these people to visit this property over the weekend. I'm going to be there Sunday from 10 till 2. Can you get me as many viewings as possible? I'm presuming you'll then work through that list and make contact with those people.
So we can have access to CRMs. Some clients will have access to CRM systems. So we have like login details, and then we'll have maybe our own kind of avatar on that, and we can access the mailing lists. So we don't only make the calls. If you want an email sent along with that call, a follow-up, we can do that as well. And it just depends on the amount of information that we're given.
So I think the key is the better the quality of information you're given, the better the end result. Because really, in your kind of mission as secret agents here, you are having to sort of adapt and sort of absorb the culture and the unique voice of that business that you're calling from. And there's so many different applications for this because, believe it or not, I know that you and your team are brilliant at making outbound calls. Estate agents, we're great with inbound calls sometimes, but actually picking up that phone and making a call to somebody who might not be expecting you to call that day can be quite daunting. But that's a challenge to you guys, but you're used to it. So how do you get into that sort of rhythm?
So, because we're making outbound calls every day, and I think the property team, like the clients there, the experts in property, but I think we're the experts in call handling and customer service in that sense. You find a pattern and you find a rhythm in the way you speak to people. And we come up with like scripts, so we would speak to the client and tailor the scripts to the point of the conversation. And even though they're not formal, you don't need to stick to them word for word. It just gives you a nice template, along with the CRM system and the knowledge of what the company does. It's a good combination, I think.
I think that is it's like the perfect recipe for that money penny success when it comes to outbound calls, and that's why it was so important to come down here and sort of speak to you guys in person today, because yeah, we speak to Joe and Sharon every day, but we don't actually get to meet the people that are actually handling the call and delivering that amazing service. So it's been lovely to talk to you, Laura. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's lovely to talk to you.